The relief effort is still continuing in the Philippines after Typhoon Haiyan left a trail of destruction. I'm Deborah Khan. Joining me now is Edwin Lacierda, who is the presidential spokesperson, joining us from Manila. Okay, Edward, we have just heard word that an earthquake has struck a region not far from those affected by the typhoon. Can you tell us anything more about that?
We just received information as well. Our Philippine Institute of Volcanology just reported a 4.5. The USGS recorded a 4.8 magnitude. It's a lot lesser than the 7.2 that first hit the same province of Bohol. We're just getting the assessment, so we're waiting for the report from our Disaster Risk Management Council.
So was this epicenter of this last earthquake, it was near the island of Bohol, was it? The island, of course, that was impacted by the recent earthquake?
The epicenter of the first earthquake in Bohol was in Bohol itself, so we don't know yet. We haven't gotten an assessment report from our Philippine Institute of Volcanology.
Okay, and we have heard word of a new storm which is approaching the Philippines. Can you tell us what you know about that and whether or not that storm will hamper any of the rescue effort going on?
It's the local name for the typhoon that's with Mindanao is called Typhoon Zoraida. It has made landfall in the island of Mindanao. We already have our prepositioned goods. The storm in Typhoon Zoraida is a lot lesser than Typhoon Haiyan. So notwithstanding that, we have already our prepositioned goods. Our military personnel are on standby, and those goods which were intended for Eastern Visayas are remaining in place in Mindanao to anticipate any after effects of the storm. So
okay.
We are in Mindanao.
Okay, and presumably Mindanao was not heavily impacted, right? Mindanao's in the south, so it did not have a lot of damage. So this new typhoon is not expected to impact the eastern Visayas, is that right?
That's correct. It's a lot milder than Typhoon Haiyan.
Okay. Now, can you give us an update on the death toll? I know that the rescue effort is still going on. I know that there are still bodies that need to be recovered. But can you give us what the latest is in how many people have died in this storm and how many are believed to have to be missing?
The latest official count in our Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council is that 1,774 have perished, and over 100 were injured. So that's the latest count that we have, far from the 10,000 that is that's the estimate of some authorities. So we are currently in the search and rescue and search and recovery, as well as relief and rehabilitation going on.
Okay, and can you give us an update on the search and rescue? We know that you had a hard time, rescue officials had a hard time entering the province of Samar, which is close to, of course, Leyte. But are you able to access all of the areas, or are there still areas you are not able to reach?
A number of areas we have already accessed. For instance, in Leyte, we have opened up the roads going to Leyte. There's the Tacloban city has been the most devastated, or rather, the island of Leyte is the most devastated region or province on the onslaught of Typhoon Haiyan. We have opened up the airport. There's limited commercial flights. We have opened up the bridge connecting the San Juanico Bridge connecting Samar and Leyte. And we have fast crafts approaching Leyte through Cebu. A lot of relief goods have been transported. A number of C-130s, both from our country and from the United States, have provided us a transport for the relief goods. There's a number of search and rescue teams offered by our own country, also offered by some other countries which are now in the Philippines and who are now in Leyte helping the search and rescue. The roads have been within Tacloban City are currently being, roads leading to Tacloban City and Leyte are being cleared right now. And we hope that Tacloban City itself will be able to clear the roads as soon as possible.
Okay, and what at this point in time, I mean, obviously you need a lot of relief, a lot of supplies. What would you say is the most needed at this point in time?
Now we have a lot of search and rescue, and I'm sure that we would appreciate more help on search and rescue, but also the relief goods assistance that we can have, and also the means of transport. A lot of countries have generously provided us search and rescue teams. A lot of countries have also provided cash donations to us, and also a number of relief goods. We'd appreciate any assistance coming from the countries who are willing to help us, and we thank them for their generosity.
Okay, and can you give us an update as to how many people have been displaced from their homes, and what is the government doing to provide shelter and housing for these people?
There are a number of homes that have been damaged. I don't have the estimates with me right now, but quite substantial. But we have placed them in evacuation centers for now. And it is in these evacuation centers that we have been providing them relief goods and what we call the prepositioned goods, enough for them to have a sustenance for the next few days while they're still in the evacuation centers. Relief goods are constantly being airlifted to Tacloban.
Are all of those shelters set up only on the island of Leyte, or are you also having to shelter people in other provinces?
Prior to the coming of the storm, we already have identified evacuation centers in the regions that were going to be affected, and we already have identified these evacuation centers, and a number of them have been set up. And there are a total of 1,217 evacuation centers. They are sheltering around 75,886 families, displaced families. And so that's the total number of people there, around 367,744 persons. So we have been providing refuge for the displaced families, not only in Tacloban, not only in Leyte, also in the other affected areas.
Okay, Edwin Lacierda, the presidential spokesperson of the Philippines, thanks very much for this update. For more on this story, you could go to WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kahn.